99.1 CKXS, Saturday morning back again, and we are ready to talk the All About Real Estate show brought to you by Riverside Realty. Pete Allaer is back in studios with us today. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Greg.
Thanks for joining us again. And special guest star today, I see, right?
Yeah, well, star. Special guest.
Hey, Lori, I'm a star.
And featuring John Van Heck.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Good having you here as well. Of course, John, a real estate agent with the Riverside Realty team. So I see on our notes here today, bubble. So are we talking about like who's in each other's bubble? Is that the kind of bubble we want to talk about here?
Yeah, bubble has been such a popular word.
Yes.
I thought today we would stick our necks out and we will actually talk about, the question of, is this real estate bubble going to burst?
Oh, okay. Good question.
Wow. So, you got a crystal ball?
Well, I do, but I can't find batteries.
There's the topic. Well, who wants to jump in first on that? You,
I'm gonna stick my neck out in line and say, I personally don't see any sign right now that it's going to break. We don't have a big inventory of houses. There's not a lot of new builds, and we have an abundance of buyers. So until we can kind of fix that equation, I'm not sure when it's going to break.
Yeah, the other thing too is that you and I have talked about this, Greg, about the whole what has COVID done, and I mean, for small town Ontario, I think when it comes to real estate, we've become the place to move to, right? And
it's safe. There's a lot of open space, all the things that we want. We have very few cases.
Oh, we have water.
If I was on Yonge Street in downtown Toronto, and I saw some pictures of Port Lambton, Dresden, Mitchell's Bay, I'd be like, I can live there for a third of what I'm paying here, and I can actually pay off my mortgage now, put some money in the bank, and move to Chatham-Kent. I get it, right? I can see why so many people want to move here.
Which is super hard for those in this market because we've been spoiled for so many years with a low market that when it goes high, it feels like, when is this going to end?
Mm-hmm.
And it's also difficult because what happens, and we talked about this, how the out-of-town people, quite often, their house is sold. So now they're coming with, let's just say $500,000 plus that they got for their house, and $500,000 they wouldn't have had much, and they're coming into this market with cash, with the mentality that $200,000 or $300,000 is you don't get anything where I come from for $200,000-$300,000, right? So it's hard on our local buyers who want to say upgrade to something, or new buyers who want to upgrade to something.
Yeah, I think it's super hard on our local buyers. Our local buyers see it all the time. Like you and I both know, we got client lists where we're showing them homes, and it gets downright depressing when every single home they look at, it's out of their marketplace. So if somebody comes in and says, my budget's $200, and that's the tops, and they start looking at houses at $200, they're never getting it for $200. And I think that's locally, it's hard on the people here. But when you look at Ontario as a whole, this is a nice place to come to. Beautiful blue water. I think living here, we take a lot of stuff for granted. When you bring people here from out of town, I bring coworkers from work from Toronto, they fall in love with this area. So I can't see the bubble breaking unless it starts falling apart from Toronto and follows it down the 401. That's all I can think of.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I think, and I've said that to people before. I've said, I believe if someone asked me the question, is the bubble going to burst in the GTA? And again, these are opinions, right? None of us really know. Some of us are a little closer to the market than others, but my personal opinion from what I see is I would be much more nervous about the bubble bursting in Toronto. And yes, if that happens eventually, like everything that happens in Toronto, like the other way going up, eventually that wave will come to us. But again, we're still by far the least expensive from basically anywhere in Ontario, other than what's the one town in Ontario I always hear people call and they say, oh, it's like way up north. I think they got like a foot and a half of snow right now.
Someplace I want to move to.
Yeah.
It's like literally, I'm trying to think of the name of the town. It's like, and I think
Kapuskasing?
it's like way up,
Kenora?
But other than, because it's just one of those things where we're still the cheapest
Yeah.
of anywhere else, and by a fairly wide spread.
And it makes no sense why in the past, like 10 years ago, why we were so cheap. We're in southern Ontario. The weather's the best
Beautiful.
down here. I mean, we're the proximity to every sort of sporting event and special event in Detroit is only 1 hour away. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, we should have been more money all along.
I constantly, when I go and talk to coworkers formerly in Toronto, I would tell them what I have, and they would just look at you like, yeah, no, you don't.
Yeah.
And then you bring them down here and they go, what, you're serious? But they can't make the move because employment, right? It's hard for them to make the move.
Right.
I think the bubble may change if we had builds in our area. I don't know of any new builds, but there's not much going on for builds. I'm sure there's land that could be developed, but it's probably a long process to get it developed in Chatham-Kent.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you think about the interest rate? Does that change the bubble at all? I mean, if the interest rate goes up, are you worried about that at all? Are people kind of overstretching themselves right now?
Well, I definitely think interest rates, low, ultra low interest rates, record low interest rates are definitely fueling an already hot market, and certainly I look at, and especially the mentality of a lot of people, and we're so used to just running on borrowed money.
Yeah.
So, someone coming in and having a $300,000 or $400,000 mortgage, I mean, when I was 25 years old, I mean, I wouldn't even have thought of it, but it seems like today, call it the younger generation are more in, what's the word?
They're little. I think they live. I think they see Instagram. I think they see how the others live more than we did. So their expectation level is probably greater than ours was. I didn't know what the inside of my neighbor's house looked like. I didn't know that green curtains weren't cool. Now you look at it, you know exactly what you should be getting. Yeah. I think, though, the interest rate also, it's so easier for somebody. They get into that thing, I love this house. Oh, $10,000 doesn't cost you that much more a month now, right? So another 10, another 20, and you start adding it to your budget. It's easier to start sneaking up and going past your top point than it is if the interest rate was higher.
I think our younger generation, they're not savers as much as we are the older generation were. I mean, my parents even more. I think, the 65, 70-year-olds, they were savers. Right?
We're fools compared to them.
Absolutely. We would buy stuff and like, I'll just take a mortgage out on that. Or I'm going to buy a car, a $40,000 car, and I'm going to, pay interest on it. A 70-year-old person does not think that way. So I think our younger generation will. But, I mean, the good news is that even if it does start to creep up, it's going to be a long process. And I mean, even now, if you're buying a house and you get a 5-year, even a 10-year mortgage, you can get now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, these are options.
10 years, yeah. But like a 5-year, I'm hearing is like 1.9.
Why would you not lock that down, right?
Oh, I know.
And we thought we had great interest rates when we got in 20 years ago. We got like 5 or 6%. This is amazing. Yeah. But I think we've had decades of decent interest rates for mortgages.
Mm-hmm. Well, moral to the story then is feel confident with the market right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think that at the end of the day, I get the question from different people, especially, first-time buyers. They'll say, is now a good time to buy a house? You know what? Any time is a good time to buy a house. I mean, because we still are strong, we still are cheap, and rents are high. So, yes, my answer is, keep moving forward. Will it slow a little bit in the winter? It might, but yeah, my moral is I think that our market is strong, and I think it's going to stay that way.
Okay. Speaking of the market, we're going to take a look at some of the houses around the area that you might want to buy, and we'll talk more about that. Come on up in just a song here at 99.1 FM CKXS. 99.1 FM CKXS. We've kept the guys around a little bit longer here. Pete Allaer and also John Van Heck from Riverside Realty. We talked a little bit about real estate before. Let's talk about some of the listings, guys. What do you got available, John? You want to start us off?
Yeah, I got a brand new one that's listed on Blue Water Line, 5991 Blue Water Line. A beautiful piece of property. Blue Water property on the Snai is difficult to come by. It usually goes pretty quick. 5-year-old house, ranch style, 3-bedroom. Everything's new. It's got a dock on the river on the Snai. It's got the lot's 340 feet deep. You could build your toy shed in the backyard, and inside you've got a heated workshop. It's all one floor. It's a gorgeous piece of property I think people should be looking at and considering. If you're thinking of being on the Blue Water, it's one of the few out there right now. One floor home.
And you know what? The water level. Holy cow.
It fell a lot.
It's dropped, I would say, 12 to 16 inches.
Yes.
Outstanding. It's made everyone feel a little bit more comfortable. And we knew that was coming. Everybody was saying it's cyclical. This is the high. The next 7 years are going to be lower. So feel very confident and comfortable with water levels now, which is great to hear.
Yes, I actually have a dock at my house. I
Nice.
forgot that I had one. It's
hey,
it's
my
floated
dock's
back.
So that's good. Yeah, that's a nice piece of property. By the way, that's not right next door or anywhere near me, so you're safe.
I don't know.
Although it's in my
gonna
next
Don't you
door.
got speakers in your backyard with the radio station going 24/7?
Everybody likes that. That's why people are moving here from Toronto. They're moving for the radio station.
The radio station.
Yeah. What do you got, Pete? You got a couple listings?
We got a couple other ones. We've got one at 550 Agnes Street, right at the end of Agnes, on the corner of Agnes and Running Creek. It's a large home, four plus one bedroom, really. Bath and a half, decent shape, nice place, detached garage, nice yard. That one's at $199, so it's affordable. And then we have another little 29 Genie Street, one floor, would make a good rental or starter home. It's a one floor, I believe it's a maybe two bedroom. So we got that one as well, and it's also affordable. It's $169. So yeah, we got a few of them, and check out our riversite.com website and our Facebook page and the Instagram, and they're all on there. And call us at the office at 519-627-3381, or reach out directly to any one of our team.
Okay, good stuff. Looking forward to it. John Van Heck, good seeing you in studios today.
It's always good to see you.
Got a spot for you if you ever want to start doing the radio show.
Okay, move right now. I've been waiting for 20 years.
I knew this would fire him up, Pete. And Pete Allaer, thanks a lot for coming in today.
All right, thanks, Greg.
The guys in from Riverside Realty today. That's the All About Real Estate show on 99.1 FM CKXS.